We target high net worth individual investors. You know, they write larger tickets. To be clear, like it's an accredited investor is the definition per US regulations. That's someone that has over $2 million in liquid assets or makes over $200K a year for the past 2 or 3 tax years.
2 years with reasonable ideas that they're going to make it the next year.
Yeah. So that all said, you know, again, that's the minimum. To be clear, we're not generally targeting those. We're targeting the ones that have significantly more than that. These are people that have sold companies for 150 million plus, are very well off. I've historically raised a lot of capital from via cold outreach emails. So I've done a lot of work there. Regrettably, that's gotten increasingly more challenging and less consistent. And spam filters and all the regulation requirements, it's very challenging to stand out even for very good opportunities. As a firm has historically done a lot of cold calling. Both are incredibly tedious. You know, it takes a long time to find the various connections, the right people. You have to make sure. You know, look, a lot of times we're working from just a first and last name and trying to have to figure out whose phone number, like what's that pair, like who that individual actually was beyond the first and last name, and then finding the phone number for that, which was just, you know, there's other data streams like LinkedIn, which we felt had a lot of information and a lot of qualifying information already available to us, and then it would make it much easier to do the outreach from there. So that's kind of what, you know, I wasn't familiar with tools like this too much beforehand, but that's kind of how we ended up here.
So how effective was your method?
Like a few hours to find those 20 people with.
These are prospects, not even meetings.
And that's just contact information. Like that's name and contact information matched. Like that's not even like we still have to call them and see if they're interested or not. So it's like a list of first and last names that we're able to pull from the SEC website for they've invested in other deals. For 50 people each week, we try to find their phone number. Again, you know, we don't just call once; we call multiple times. So we do another 50 follow-up calls. Like last week, I made 107 calls.
Wow.
21 picked up. Full pitch of our platform to 11. Four people were like, you know, interested. I mean, we don't like 4 of those are basically willing to hear me out for a next call. We schedule for a later date.
We just want to find a more efficient way to get out to as many people as possible.
You're able to qualify leads much better on LinkedIn than kind of the cold calling. So when we cold calling, they have no concept of who we are, and you know we have to introduce them to our platform. They have to hear us out. There's just the data on LinkedIn is also quite strong. You know, you have a lot more about people's backgrounds, people, what they do. And it's a different, interesting thing. The people that show up on our cold calling list are just a different category from what we see here. And it's just a category even tapped. So there's that angle. Each step is very well thought through, and that was great. Over that same period of time, double versus what I have in cold calling. A week ago, I had 68 relationships on an ongoing basis I built. Versus maybe like 15 on the phone call through that same period.
Wow, that's more than 4x.
The worst weeks ever, it's been like 3. On the best week, it's been as many. I believe it's been like 15 one week. It was really kind of crazy that week.
Wow.
I guess I hit a list really on the head. And then for cold calling in, it's like 2 to 5 if we're lucky. So again, it's double to triple versus the phone calling alone.
Wow, so your workflow kind of completely changed. You used to go from 5 days cold calling now to just doing a day or 2 of it. And now the rest of it, you're just LinkedIn outreach.
Theo, I think, basically saw the success I was having and was like, let me get in on this too. And it's gone so far as like, I think half our office, and keep in mind, we also have a business development team. Someone over there has used it for stuff before to build relationships with physicians for some studies she was doing. Even the guy who's super old school in our office, when I say old school, like pen and paper for everything, has now like started using it as well. I think it's just the writing's been on the wall that it's this tool that, you know, both advanced and non-advanced can use. Has the core features, it has more stuff going on. You know, it was highly functional, but packaged in a way where someone with a lot of experience could have a lot of fun with it, but someone with no experience could figure it out. For us, the ROI on this has been incredible. I mean, from every level, like I can only see it being rolled out to more of our team, probably becoming a standard on our investment side for everyone to use. And then to be honest, on our business development side, it's we've got one person using already. And you know, I plug it everywhere I can, and I don't plug a lot of software out there. So both support things that would help our company really get its brand out there, scale, become more well known and more high regarded. So again, I probably reach out to about 180 people a week. Of those, I'd probably get anywhere from like 20%, so everywhere from 30 or 40 to in some cases as high as like 50, 60, 70. I think we got even at 80 at one point because almost 50% acceptance, and then.
It's just efficient and easy to use.
It does, but I think it also is very reliable. I think that would probably the last element I have, which I think is a big gap in a lot of the other tools that I compare with. I think when the campaigns get set up, they act exactly as you expect. They always work. You can get all the numbers. There's no gaps and things get lost or trickle out along the way. It feels like it is a tool that was fully designed by the company that it's geared to integrate with. I think that makes it just a very enjoyable experience to use. I've tried out maybe 7 or 8 other tools today, both all manner cloud-based, desktop-based, ones that you can find on forums that are kind of like somewhat sketchy. Who knows? I've tried everything, and this is the one I've stuck with, and there's never been a doubt in my mind about that.
My first thing was the cold calling. In my mind, I was like, time consuming, you don't get a lot out of it. And then the amount of people I've been able to reach, the success rate, everything's over doubled.
I introduced the product to, a lot of people. Again, they got this great free trial at the beginning. I've been very, look, I probably brought like 7 or 8 different kinds of companies, everything ranging from real estate brokers to recruitment firms to a company that's bringing in nurses from the Philippines to address the U.S. nursing shortage. But everyone's loved it. I'm sorry, I think he has to run here.
Yeah.
But everyone I brought it to has had exceptional feedback. I think everyone still continues to use the platform, and everyone has found value in it. The same value I have, but also their own unique angles. So from that perspective, I really think it's a tool for everyone. This tool is, it does everything and more. I think it's optimally positioned for, again, both large and small companies, but particularly for companies that are significantly uptake their sales numbers. Another company I mentioned that helped, the nursing company, just actually, I think, is closing at least their first contract and bringing in investors to their platform from there now. So they've got a dual pronged approach. Wow. They're crushing it. He was using a sequence to reach out to connection requests to do that. So that's what he said this morning. And then, so it's a unique angle, but it works. Now we end up with ones like Nathan, who's texting me every day, like, Mark, this is crazy. Like, yeah, I mean, I told you so. We used it for 2 months. Our firm has probably the slowest people to adopt new software you could possibly imagine, but we're almost at 100% across all groups. I usually just try to get one person on it and say, look, you have fun with this. And then the same thing happened here where I was just doing it and then people saw my results. They're like, oh, wait a second. Like, I'm falling behind. I'm not doing that too.